Hello, welcome everyone. We come along now and join us. We're starting now. We've got the gorgeous Julie Nelson. I'm so honored to have her as a special guest here today. So this
Thank you.
training is all about how Julie's journey from sleepless nights to building more sustainable business confidence over the next 30 years and how she cleared a chronic burnout cycle over 30 years in 10 weeks. So it's a phenomenal story and it will help you if you're having a hard day and if you want to just reset and refocus. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with interviewing Julie. Come along, pop any questions that you have in the chat box, because at the end of this, about half an hour or 20 minutes, half an hour, we'll get Julie to answer those questions and pop in your name so we can see you on StreamYard and we're going to have a ball. Okay. And then after that, we're going to complete with an intuitive confidence meditation that I'm going to create intuitively for everybody that's in the group live. And that will help you build that sustainable confidence in yourself when you're doubting yourself, you're going through anxiety, fear, or whatever. So I can't wait to share that with you all. Okay, so Julie, let's go through. Right. So many coaches and practitioners are often caught up in this burnout cycle and hustling cycle in business. Like, we've always got to do more, we've got to be more, we've got to show up more, we've got to be more visible. And it's quite draining, especially if you're a sensitive person or you're a human design projector like Julie and me, reflector, manifester, if you're always quite sensitive. And also, this can lead to burnout, adrenal exhaustion, a very wired nervous system, inability to sleep, health issues, loss of confidence, and magnetism. And you often have to try double hard to get anything done, like to put up a post, to focus, to run a podcast, to work with clients. It's taking double the amount of energy that it would normally if you were at your optimal peak. It's basically like a computer that's running on half battery with a full hard drive. Okay. Does that make sense? And that's what it's like with lack of sleep, basically. So I'm very honored to have my amazing client, the gorgeous Julie Nelson, for this interview to share about her journey from sleepless nights to sustainable business confidence over 30 years. So I'm just going to share with us the testimonial that Julie wrote a wee while back, and just so everybody can get an idea a little bit about Julie. So Julie took care of her health, broke a 30-year burnout cycle in 10 weeks and worked 40% less, and her income increased by 50%. Yes. So in October 2018, she'd been having a chronic sleep burnout cycle for about 30 years, and she was running on adrenaline. She was a single mum at the time, and her beautiful daughter had a life-threatening illness, which meant she was hyper-vigilant 24/7. And I cannot imagine what that would be like. Julie, I'm sure, will share more about that. My nervous system was shot, and I was living on 2 to 3 hours of broken sleep every night. I would get sick every 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks, and due to this, and my had recurring shingles, which is a lot of severe pain, in which I had to be on medication every day. She discovered me through an online speaking event and was taken in by my beautiful energy and what she offered. And from here, she received 2 VIP one-on-one intuitive sessions and did an 8-week program with me. So it was over about 10 weeks. So Andrea supported me with intuitive coaching and healing to help me retrain my nervous system to fully relax, knowing that everything was okay, so I could start to sleep again deeply. After this, I started to learn to sleep longer and deeper and was getting about, say, 5 to 6 hours sleep per night and an extra couple of hours rest in bed. I stepped up to another level to nourish my health, my sleep, my purpose, and move from chronic burnout habits to more sustainable healthy habits. I mainly worked during the week of my business and hardly worked from Friday night to Sunday afternoon. And overall, I worked about 40% less in my business, and yet my income increased about 50%. So it's not how hard you work, it's how aligned you are when you do work, right? Plus, she hired a virtual assistant for the first time ever in her business. So she got the help that she needed. Now, it's May 2020, and that's 1.5 years later, and she's still continuing these more sustainable, healthy habits and still getting 5 to 6 hours sleep a night and 2 hours sleep in bed, extra rest, and she doesn't work much from Friday night to Sunday. I do more activities to nourish and nurture myself, such as dancing and qigong. I feel so grateful for all the professional support that Andrea gave me. Now, Julie is an artisan perfumer, and she'll tell you more about that. There you go. So let's just put that back. Sorry, how do we,
It's like,
how do we do that? Okay. Okay, awesome.
Here we go.
Right. So tell us about your business, Julie, and when you got started and why, please.
Okay, I'll start with the why first, and it has evolved, and Andrea has heard the story, of course, but in 1988, my daughter was born with a life-threatening condition, and at the age of 6 months young, she was diagnosed with a second life-threatening condition. And there were times that I was told that she may not survive. And, you know, I had just come out of my Saturn return, where everybody has a major shift in their life. And I thought my purpose, because I'd been looking for my purpose, and I thought my purpose was actually being her mother. And of course it was. And then when, she was diagnosed and all of these things.
Hello. Oh, looks like Julie.
Automatically.
Yes.
Oh,
I
sorry,
think
is
you
it
were
dropping out?
frozen for a little bit. Yes, you're back. Yeah.
Thank you. So I became a very fierce mother. It was like, okay, because what happened was, even at her early age of 6 months, because she nearly died then, she nearly died at birth, and she's had several encounters up until the age of about 16, 17. So it was like, I've got to do more, because sometimes modern medicine simply didn't work. I mean, they can't do everything. They don't know. And I say this, and not to put down modern medicine, but we are all guinea pigs, because they're learning as well, consistently.
Yes.
They are. It's the truth. And so I discovered essential oils, not MLM, and I started using them at home over a few weeks and noticed such a difference in our mind, moods, and emotions. And I was hooked. So basically, within a few weeks, I went out, signed up to get my diploma of aromatherapy, and did that for nearly 3 years. And there's so much in between. I mean, I lived in hospital 50% of the time, like with my daughter, which was 50% of our life we spent in hospital during her first 16 years or so. So I never slept. I was always hyper vigilant, because in that time our hospital systems had really gone down as well, and they're even worse now. So it was like I was this fierce warrior woman. I never slept. I was on guard. I had to keep fighting the systems, and like fighting the hospital system, fighting the school systems. And back then there wasn't the compassion outside of the hospital, that, you know, in other places like schools, they didn't want to enroll, and nobody wanted to. And she was psychologically and mentally fine, very, very bright student. It was just the physiological issues. So that was why I have been for 31 years doing what I do. And what happened was, when my daughter turned about 20 and met her beautiful partner, he then said to me, "It's my turn to take care of her now." So I completely fell apart. It was like, and that was a bit of a journey in itself, to be able to let go. And of course, you never fully let go, being a mother and concerned about her life and health. And so what happened was, my attention from her had to turn to me, because I got very sick. And that's very common for parents, especially mothers with children with chronic, acute, and life-threatening illnesses, because we don't function like the average person, and it takes its toll. And I was sick all the time. I used to get shingles, and even to this day, if I do have nights where I don't sleep, but I do sleep better, and I really nurture myself. If I feel that I need some sleep, I have no issues going and lying down for a couple of hours. But I can say that consistently I've held on to that 5 hours. There's odd times when I don't, but consistently, since working with Andrea, sorry, that I have, you know, had that longer sleep. And
Yes.
yeah,
I mean, that is huge in itself. Can everyone see that? Like, the reason I'm saying this is, Julie, because if any of you are struggling with sleep, or you're in this burnout cycle, what we're showing is evidence. Julie is evidence that this can happen for you too,
yes,
right? That
yes.
this is what we're trying to show. So we appreciate Julie sharing her story. So that's awesome that you've been able to maintain it pretty consistently in the last number of years working together.
Yeah. And of course, when I fell apart, and of course my care for my daughter has never stopped, but for the past 15 years, I've been on a self-healing journey. And so, you know, working with you enhanced that. And I do what I can. I will always probably be on a healing journey, because my body for 30 years was overworked, and I am improving consistently all of the time by following. I mean, that was a really big step for me when we worked together. It was huge, and I really loved it. And it helped me to create some better patterns, because I am quite a healthy living individual. And it was more about bringing those more, being more aware of the patterns and staying with them, and having that beautiful, loving support from you that made a big difference at that time, and shifted, because I was also going through a lot at that time as well. So it was, very powerful for me, and I continue to rise. I'm very unapologetic. I'm a very confident woman. I always have been confident, but it's just growing. But I have to say, I do the work. I live in ritual. You know, I have my meditation practices. I eat healthy. My exercise hasn't been so great since I moved here, but I'm back, you know, for about 11 months I wasn't dancing, but I'm back dancing weekly. Then I have a monthly dancing. I do hydrotherapy, and it just helps to keep me in balance. Sometimes I walk a lot, sometimes I don't, but there's always some practice. And I'm very conscious of me and my own needs. So I stop, and I don't have to live in my business. I don't follow the bullshit, really, that a lot of coaches out there are telling you to do, to hustle and do all that. I don't do it. I don't like it. I do me and what works for me. And I also think that my community appreciate that a lot more as well. And it doesn't take so much out of me.
That's absolutely awesome. I mean, what an incredible journey. I don't have a child myself. My business is my child, my academy, but I cannot imagine what you've been through, Julie. And I mean, when you think about it, that's the amount of inner resilience that you've had over those years, for 30 years on
35.
those, like over that time, with your daughter.
Yeah.
And the reason we're sharing this, because there's a lot of women as well watching this, as well as men. But, we're going through a big transition in this planet at this time.
We are.
And a lot of falling away is happening. I didn't mean to share about this, but this has come through intuitively, that there's a lot of falling away of the old patterning, the old structure of the economies, banking,
Yes, yes.
hierarchy, everything. It all happened with COVID as well. Like a lot of things energetically and even astrologically, they say, is transitioning. Julie has a lot of background in astrology, right? And so
Yeah,
we're actually going through a world transition of up leveling. So
we
I
are.
think it needs to be shared, because there's a lot of people that are feeling really fearful, really anxious, like constantly in doubt, major fear, and a lot of things that you might have done before in business or in your relationships or in life aren't working. Would you say that's true, Julie?
Yeah, absolutely. I really, really strongly believe that we have to trust ourselves and step into ourselves first. I'm big on doing the inner healing. I do it with my community and clients because that's the place to start. And first, we have to acknowledge it and accept that we need that. And then that to me is a part of the self-love that then takes us into that healing process that brings us more self-worth, self-confidence, magnetism, and manifestation. And the world is changing. There's going to be some big beautiful changes next year astrologically, and it's not going to happen overnight, but it is happening. It's already started. And I think the thing to remember is the old ways are done. So step into being and helping to create the new way of being that is good for all, to bring that beautiful, luscious, thriving life to all we want. And first you have to start with yourself.
Yes. So that's the key point here. You come back to your center, which
Yes.
Julie did with her health and her and alignment and her purpose. Come back to your center, come back to your breath, come back to who you really are. You're born as an intuitive, infinite being, all of us, spiritual
Mm-hmm.
beings with a human body, a limited, finite body.
Yeah.
Come back to that intuition, and then you're naturally going to magnetize all of your ideal clients, all the money, all the support,
Yes.
all the opportunities, everything you love. But it's not going to happen necessarily in the way your logical mind will say.
Yeah.
Because
Let go.
look what happened to Julie. Look what happened to Julie. She had
Yeah.
30 years of chronic insomnia. Like, that's a long time, right?
Mm.
And in Chinese medicine, for every year you have a condition, it's a month intensive treatment. So it should have been 30 months to help Julie. When we say
Yeah.
intensive, we mean 3 to 5 times a week. That's what they do in China, go every day to the hospital. So 30 years, 30 months.
Yep.
That's traditional
And
Chinese
I
medicine.
I see it. It's
So,
a
so Julie had a
cycle.
miraculous result. Do you see what I mean? She had an
Yeah.
what's an illogical result.
Because I was
Illogical result.
I was open to receiving, and I wanted to create the transformation.
Yep.
And also accept that I needed help, which for many women too, especially, like, is very hard to do. We must learn to receive. We can't keep giving if we're not able to receive. And I
Yes.
have become very good at receiving. I'm actually quite masterful at it now compared to what I used to be. And also, through this work, my boundaries have gotten better, 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 better. So it was like a really good starting point for me too, working with Andrea, because it gave me foundations,
Yes.
and that I have continued. And I am in ritual every day. So, and what I mean by that is I meditate, I use my oils, I use astrology, and believe you me, I don't live by them. What they are nourishing tools for me to tap into. I am me. I don't I don't get obsessed with something, I don't know how to explain it. Some people, like, I'm not defined by anything but my own inner self and who I am. But I have a lot of beautiful, magical tools that I can tap into that support me, enhance my raising of my vibration. And if
Yes.
I need to rest, I'm unapologetic about it. I don't care. I don't like working 8 hours in a row. I'll work a couple of hours, and that's my lifestyle. I've got mini horses. I call them my unicorns. So I can't go and see them at night. They're not with me anymore, so they're in adjustment. So I work when I want to work. So I don't start work until about 11:30 in the morning. And I may work till late at night, but in between all of that, I've been cooking. I might go and have a couple with somebody. I've spent a few hours with my horses, and that works for me. I have never been a 9 to 5 person. I've always been a night owl from a child, and I love the night. And so the daytime is kind of, for me, sometimes more my relaxing time. I'm a little bit topsy-turvy. But the
Yeah.
point is as long as I get the sleep, if I go to bed at 1 o'clock and I get 5 or 6 hours, I'm happy. If I go to bed at 9 o'clock, I'll wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning. That does not work for me. All right. So I work with my body and what works for me, as long as I get the sleep.
Yes.
Help me
So,
function.
I mean, that's quite different from Chinese medicine. The
Yes, I
approach of
know.
the more hours after 11 o'clock you get, the better for your body because it's rejuvenating and everything. But
I know.
remember also, Julie's nervous system is having to reform new patterns. So even though she had that chronic burnout cycle, she's having to reform new patterns of what is a healthy life and a healthy sleep
Yes.
life as well. So right now that's where she's at, and that's absolutely
Yeah.
perfect.
Can I add something? That most nights I make an effort to go to bed by 11:30. All right. It's the odd night that if I'm feeling wired, I will stay up, because it's easier and less stressful for me to stay up than go to bed and toss and turn and
Yes.
play 10 bloody meditations. But the point is that I get more sleep than I used to, so I'm therefore able to function. And yeah,
So
and
that's the important
I'm
thing. So
going for
she,
longer sleep.
optimal, like, that's like excellent from what she was before. And
Mm,
then little bit by little bit starting to, because it takes a while for the nervous system to rewire from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic. Because
mhm.
when one, anyway, this is not a health lesson, but basically when you're in pain or you've got a really chronic health condition, you tend to go more towards the survival mode, the stress, fight, and
Yes.
flight. And so we're training the nervous system to go back to the parasympathetic and to unwind. Why would we want to do that? Because when Julie went back to more the longer length of sleep, she magnetized, she'd worked 40% less, but she magnetized 50% more. And one of the reasons this happens that people struggle to manifest clients is because if you're burnt out, if your body's exhausted, if you're low in chi, you don't have enough energy and chi to help clients, because clients
Mm.
usually come when they're stressed. So we need to have more chi than our clients, because they will probably take some of that chi. And if we've hardly got anything left, our body says, no, no more clients. This is the time we're stopping all clients. So you go and rest and you go and get yourself better. And this is really important, because people don't realize that. They think, I want more clients, I want more clients, I want more clients. Your body will cancel everything so you stay alive. It's got to keep you alive.
Yes.
And that was
And
what
can I
happened with Julie.
Yeah. And what I was going to say too is that with my myself, I was giving a lot of stuff and not charging people simply because I didn't have good boundaries in place. And my empathy was just way over the top. And so this was also a part of helping me to put really strong boundaries in, because what I did was had people coming to me and asking me for help, but they didn't have any money, and I found it very difficult to say no. So it was like, and the sleep, having more sleep gives you more strength and more focus, and you can think more clearly, and and you're not giving everything away. It's like, hang on a minute, I've got to give to me.
So how did you magnetize that 50% more income after those 10 weeks of working with me? How was that? How did that look like? How different that was from before?
I think, if you remember, I felt so good, and I felt very nourished. I felt very seen and
Mhm.
heard.
Seen.
And yeah, and that actually helped to raise my vibration as well, because I wasn't a bit isolated, and I was so flippin' tired all of the time. And it's honestly having that support and accountability, and almost like being given permission to stop and slow down,
Mm.
gave me more energy. It shifts your energy field, which ripples out into wherever you are. And I was different. So I think it was about my energy shifting, my chi shifting, um, and yeah, knowing that I had the support, and also, you know, guidance. Like, I had the tools then and I used them, but sometimes we just, I know this very well, and I know sometimes also how difficult it is to be able to bring somebody on board to work with. And but it's also so important, it just helps knowing. It's like having somebody um just hold that container. They're not doing everything for you, they're leading you into taking those steps for yourself. I'm not going to say responsibility, although it might be for some people. I was very ready. I was
Yeah.
ready because I was so tired. So I think it was the energy, the physical energy, and the energetic energy, and my
Yeah, the
mindset.
energetic alignment, yes.
Yeah.
And so when you attracted, 50% more income and you did 40% less work, uh, did you do any different marketing? Did you do anything different on the outside except for more sleep?
Yeah, I did change things. One, like, even back, even then, I I was fed up with the whole masculine way of doing things, as in, a lot of the coaches, and that they would just push, 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 sell, 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 sell. And it never resonated with me. And I think that it was hard. And just over time, it was horrible, and it never aligned with me. And I think that was also a part of my problem. And that's why it's just like more and more and more, it's like I pushed all of that away.
So when you attracted that more income, you did it more from your own divine
Yes,
feminine, your own. So you didn't.
absolutely.
You basically didn't do any more extra marketing, pay for Facebook ads or anything else. So
No, it was my energy, really, my alignment, my aligning with what was in alignment with me. And of course, that ripples out into your audience as
and
well.
I think what happened, as I said, is
Got
because
more
Julie was
active as well.
so burnt out before then, all her energy in her body went into surviving because she had only had so little sleep for 30 years. And so finally, when she was getting 5 to 6 hours sleep or another 2 hours extra, her body felt nourished enough so she had more chi to give. Does that
Yes,
make sense? She had more chi
absolutely.
to help clients. And because she had more chi, she was more magnetic to clients, right?
And I was excited. It
Yeah,
felt so damn good. It was
yeah,
like, "Oh, I love this."
yeah.
It was a bit more like it was a bit like a rebirthing, because I lit up more. I wasn't dragging my sorry butt around. And not that I felt sorry for myself or I was a victim. I'm not a victim. It was just that I simply didn't have the energy, and I'm so passionate in what I do that was also frustrating. So it was, again, I had to come back to my source. And I always knew that. But again, it's when you've got somebody there leading you, holding the container for you, it just creates big shifts, big transformation.
Yes, and remember, that's what people buy. Clients buy your confidence to hold the space
Absolutely.
while they're transforming,
Yeah.
So what had you tried before to break this burnout cycle before, Julie?
Well, I was doing a lot of what I have always done, using my oils. I took on more things, like I've meditated for all of those years, and of course used my oils. And I realized too, one of the mistakes, no, not mistakes, but the lack of understanding being in business, and that was I went for all those so-called high performance coaches, which really they're not, they're just hustlers, in my personal opinion, to someone who, you, Andrea, that
Mm.
came from a totally different, like, love yourself up, look after yourself, rebuild yourself. It wasn't about external stuff, it was about the internal. So I always did a lot of things, but I was doing that pushing, and it wasn't working for me, and it did exhaust me. And yeah, so honestly, it was having you, like, you're an amazing business coach, but you don't do all the shit that all the others do.
Yeah,
You come
thank
in,
you.
and it's about us. It's about revitalizing ourselves, getting ourselves back on track. And we have to put ourselves first. And that was a very, very hard lesson for me, and something that I work with, because as a mother with a child that you kept being told she was going to die, I didn't have time for me. I didn't even think about me, let alone anybody else. I was solely focused on my daughter. And if I had have had the tools further back, then I whether I would have done it or not, I don't know. But the point is that when I worked with you, shift happened.
Yes, and I'm so happy and so honored to have worked with you. You're amazing.
Thank
So, would you say what was the biggest wins that you had working with me?
Well, the two biggest wins were getting more sleep and learning to allow myself to do that through you.
Mm,
I
mm.
loved the process of working with you as well. I mean, I don't know if you remember, I used to get quite excited, and and also the money aspect of it gave me freedom, more freedom. So
Mm,
they were the two big things, but they came from in here with the work that I did with you. So that was the biggest win,
mm.
because that is what created the other two, like the more sleep, the nourishing and nurturing, and the awareness. Sometimes we have to be told. We know it, but we need to be told.
Yes,
This
yes.
is, and I'm honestly, I um doing dancing and hydrotherapy and being in the bush and nature is very big for me, is a part of my healing and a part of my nourishment. It's doing the things that feed your soul. And so I got more into that. I've always
So,
been that.
oh, look, I love that what you shared, and a lot of women feel that, but a lot of women feel they can't give themselves that. That's the bottom line.
that
Men
that's
and women, men and women, but especially women because we've been told to nurture.
Yeah, we
So
give, but we don't receive.
yes, and so when we don't allow ourselves to receive, we actually don't allow ourselves to receive more money, more clients, more love. Like it comes, opening the doorway to receive opens the whole world up to us.
It does.
Everything we love.
It
It's
does.
actually the opposite of what you think. You think you give more and then you'll get more. No, it's the more we create this vacuum by it's the yin and the yang, right? The yin and the yang. When we create this space of receiving and gratitude, the more comes to us, right? And you
Yes.
probably found that when you took on a new VA, when you attracted all that extra money, it was really effortless, wasn't it? When you attracted that money, you didn't have to hustle to
Yeah,
make it.
it's just to have some support like that just takes a bit of weight off too. And also I had left my partner, so I lost my home because I walked
Oh
away with
no.
nothing. So, was living on my dream property. So it was huge, all the stuff that I was going through, restarting my life on many levels. So I found the hope, because there was a while there where I'd lost it, because I lived on a 40-acre property. I was in the bush. We lived off the land. The house was nothing. I tell you, it was nothing. It was the land. You could hear the grass grow, listen to the trees, see the energy. And to have walked away from that was also it was a big loss, and I had lost that connection.
Mm,
And so working with you on that journey as well helped me to reconnect, because I was very disconnected after that, because I need to be a part of that earth.
mm.
I love to talk, when I walk past bush and things like that, I love to touch it, and I talk to plants, and I let spiders live in my house, and and so I think one of the big things too, that this is coming to me as I'm remembering, when I worked with you, I felt more alive, because I'd had so much loss and
Mm,
so much trauma,
mm,
and I can feel it coming up. And So yeah, it was like, I've got this, I can do this. It doesn't have to be fucking hard, excuse my language. And I used to so look forward to every week when we would get on call, and I had this big, kids coloring in book, playing papers, and used crayons, and we did all these things, and which really feeds my soul, because I love working like that, as part of it as well, and the meditations and aligning and the one-on-ones. Yeah, I looked forward to it like it was exciting.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was an 8-week yin and yang of purposeful business with gorgeous businesswomen, and then we had 2 one-on-one sessions, so over about 10 weeks. But
Wow.
yeah, we had a ball, and it still continue to have a ball. A couple of those people from that program have gone off to really rise in their business and create amazing books and academies and all sorts of things. And
It's
and
awesome.
Julie herself has gone on to you've created a podcast, and your
I've got
dream of doing your oracle cards as
I've
well.
got my oracle cards, I've got my academy, I've got my circle, I've got what my podcast, which I love. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
So Julie is now starting to really live her soul work. Like she's really starting to own that. And she's been doing that consistently for 30 years, right?
Yeah, because I love what I do.
Yeah, she loves what she does. But she still had her challenges, and she
Of
rose
course.
above them each time. So
Yeah.
which was amazing. And what would you say to anybody that was thinking about working with me?
Do it. It's simple. I don't it really is as simple as do it. Just say yes. Yeah. Just say yes. I do, through my own shifts and transformations. It's a more nourishing way to work with you, because it's not it how can I say this? It's not just about the business. It's not just about all of that. It's about you. So when we bring our attention to ourselves, and that grows everything else, that expansion ripples out into everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful reminder. Thank you. Such a pleasure to work with you, gorgeous Julie. And so, who do you help, and how can people work with you?
Okay, so this is another thing too. I have a lot of tools. I'm an aromatherapist, clinical aromatherapist of 31 years. I'm an artisan botanical perfumer. I'm an artist. I'm a witch, and I have been all my life, but for the past 30 years, I've really fully stepped into it. It is a lifestyle for me. And and my astrology of 27 years. And so I bring everything in together. Whereas before it was like, oh, I've got to do this, got to do that, got to do this, got to do that. How do I do it all? And now I can bring it all together. And no matter what I focus on, it's all a part of it. So my area is, I'm very passionate about working with women to guide them into stepping into their own truth and rising unapologetically, because I have risen unapologetically and I've lived it. I'm not doing something that I haven't lived. I have brought my years of experience, trauma, challenges, resilience, everything, my truth. I'm very much a truth speaker into it. And so women who are really willing to take that next step of being in their power, which is something that's very scary for women. And a lot of women think they are, but they're not. And it's a continual work through our life, Andrea. I know for me, and to be honest with you, I never want to stop growing and learning because I keep getting better and better. So why would you want to stop?
Yeah.
And so and we can't always do it on our own. You know, I know like that I want to work with you again, and that's what I'm working towards, because I see where we're going to go because we've discussed it. And so I'm ready to manifest that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
we're
know it's
making Julie, like we have so much fun. So that's what I'm saying. Julie has unshakable confidence that
I do.
she knows she wants to up level. She wants to live more fully. We're going to work again together. And she's manifesting the money and everything to support her to really take herself and her business to the next level. Heart, mind,
Absolutely.
and body, and clients and money and everything else. Everything
And
she wants.
I can say in my heart, this is my absolute truth. Like, I won't swear like I normally do here because I can be a bit of a trooper because there's certain words that I love to use. But I am actually very unapologetic, and not in a harmful way. I just know, not just, that word shouldn't even be there. I know who I am. I love who I am, which I never used to know how to do. I absolutely love Julie, me,
Yes, I
as a
love Julie.
woman. Yeah, and it's a beautiful place to be, because there was once upon a time where, what the hell is that? How do you find yourself? How do you love yourself? I had no idea, and now it's like, and I stand in my power, and it is something that I want to encourage in this world, sometimes to my detriment. However, I know it's not even a belief. I know the power lies within us. And if we don't take the action, nothing is ever going to change for you.
Awesome. I mean, can you see why I wanted her on this beautiful training? You're amazing, Julie. Listen, Julie's going to send me the link to her contact details. And if anyone would love to work with Julie, would love to check out her freebies or offers, please click on the link below. She's an amazing dynamite woman. You can see that.
Thank you.
But she's talking from embodied knowledge, just like I am. We're not,
Yes,
we've lived it. We've lived
and
it.
that's what's
Promoted.
important.
Yeah. So
How
we've
can
lived.
you guide somebody and coach somebody, and if you don't embody your own work, if you haven't, we know we've
Yeah.
lived it.
We've lived it. I healed myself of a genetic chronic health condition from 30 years.
Yeah.
Julie healed herself of a genetic chronic burnout cycle for 30 years. Immaculate, like illogical results. And this is an invitation to you all. If you are ready to truly up level your life, if you're really ready to truly up level your business, call in the money, the clients, the fulfillment, the joy, the embodiment, the loving of who you truly are from inside, not having to do it through hustle, but from coming from your inner magnetism, your inner knowing, your inner truth, this is the place. This is the place, because it comes from here, all that you truly want.
Yes,
And it's the only thing that's unshakable. The unshakable confidence, as
absolutely.
I say, is like we're strong trees rooted into the ground. Even if the
Mhm.
tree fell over, Julie's had the tree fall over many times. I've had the tree fall over many times. Our business is
Yes,
still growing because of
yes.
those unshakable tree roots right into the ground. That is sustainable confidence. If you have no
And I wa
money, no income for 1 month, and you can honestly feel confident, you're 100% on track. Julie's been there. I've been there. I've had 2 months with no income, single woman at times. She's had times like that, but we did it. And
We
you
do
have
it.
the power to do that.
Yeah.
You have the power. Every single one of you has the power. And this is the new time. I don't know why we're talking about this is intuitive coming through.
Yeah.
This is
Which
the
is
new
nice.
age. This is the new earth we're building. The new earth is not necessarily the logical structure of the way everything has always been done. Banking, economies, politics, economies. Everything is going to change so quickly with artificial intelligence, robots, computers, everything. And so this is why we're teaching about intuition. This is why we're teaching about inner confidence, unshakable
So
confidence, because this is the only thing that we've got in times of uncertainty. This is the only
ourselves.
thing,
Absolutely.
isn't it, Julie? That's the only thing that we've got in times of change, uncertainty, when things are falling apart. The only thing is your trust in yourself.
Absolutely.
Totally.
I have 2 words, and it's do it unashamedly and unapologetically with no harm to any other. You don't have to feel guilty. That's toxic. You don't have to feel shame around what you desire. You don't have to apologize about what you desire. That's
It's
a big
about,
step to get
yeah,
to
and
that.
it's because that desire that you have is actually your soul calling you to step up into your sovereignty. It's not about ego. It's not about
No.
anything. It's about the sovereign, infinite being that you truly are, which is who you really are. You're not your conditioned self. You're not your fears, your anxiety, your family upbringing, your mother and father, what other people say you are. You're not all those things. You're not all your fears and your doubts and your imposter syndrome. And it's not who you are. What we are is divine beings that are
We
meant to
are.
be living an abundant, magical, unlimited life. I'm
Absolutely.
sorry, but that's what
And take that step to step out and break that down. You don't have to break yourself down like I hear some coaches say, we're going to strip you of what you are and rebuild you. No, because there's things that are in you that are so powerful, you don't want to lose that. What you do is release what's not serving you. I'm getting goosebumps here. And keep building on that magnificence of who you are and rise unapologetically.
Oh, I mean, my God, just rising unapologetically. Remember when 2 or more people are gathered together for the same focus, which is what me and Julie are here. We've got 1 + 1 is not 2, it's 11. 1
Yes.
+ is 11. And so
And we're also one,
yes.
as in, I really believe there's no competition here. I'm happily to say, go to Andrea. I recommend other coaches. We can't all work with everybody, and honestly, I mean, Andrea has such an effervescence about her that is, she never stops smiling. And she does. She has lots of bubbles and it's very infectious and yeah, powerful.
Oh, thank you so much. Beautiful, Julie. I mean, I'm just such an honor to see you, to work with you, to do this with you. And we're a little bit over time, but we were
Yes.
just going with the flow because that's what happens when you start speaking intuitively. That's actually what happens when it starts channeling through you. You can't help it. It's a ripple. And it's not like we're putting any effort into this. This is effortless marketing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not a
Effortless
structured
marketing.
person, so I like to go with the flow. Just allow yourself to be
Yeah. And
in your flow.
remember the divine being you truly are. Like, remember who you really are. We're
Yeah.
not human doers. We're human beings with so much joy, so much magic, so much possibility, so much, like we can choose heaven on earth now. I know that's a big statement, but I
Heaven
actually,
is on earth. Heaven is on earth. And so is hell, by the way. So you have a choice. You always
Yeah.
have a choice of what path you're going to take. And I've just got to say this, that just having this conversation with Andrea now has set me up for my day. I've got goosebumps. My heart chakra feels really expensive at the minute. I'm getting tingles, and I'm thinking, yes, now my day is going to be, I mean, I always, I love life and I love everything, even with my challenges, but having this conversation. So this is the power of being with somebody. Like, imagine sitting in a session with Andrea. Like, I know I'm getting louder and I'm getting more excited and I'm moving well because I feel fucking fabulous being here. So
Yeah, like, I mean, for goodness sake, we're just having a ball. And who can call this work? I mean, let's be honest. Who can call this work? This is not work. This is
it's
fun, flow, it's fulfilling, it's energizing, it's joyful. I mean, this is the potential. This is the taste of the potential of how we can have imagine having client appointments like this. Imagine every client that you see walking away dancing. I mean, that is the
And
possibility.
that's
I
it.
have seen that with clients.
Me
That
too.
that is what brings transformative results. Not necessarily
Yeah.
having to do with a checklist, but reminding people of their hearts, reminding people of their joys, and
Being real and raw.
be real, raw, authentic. There's, and look, I'm being totally upfront. Yesterday, I was bawling my eyes out. Okay,
Yeah.
like
I had a
yesterday,
shit day too.
yesterday I had about 2 hours of crying into my pillow. But it wasn't a crying from real agony. It was a grief of letting go of an old part of me. And I knew that that needed to come out. But look at me
Yes.
today. So this is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That is part of the transformation process. This is the part of us claiming all of ourselves, all of who we are, whether we have a good day or a bad day, where there's emotions come up, where there's grief, it's okay. It's not going to shake us. We're still
Absolutely.
grounded.
Those days help us to climb up to the next level. If we don't have those days, how can we move forward and grow? That's my belief. We don't have to be happy and bubbly and energized every single moment of every single day. We have to allow what needs to release. And it's okay to cry. It's okay. Like yesterday for me, I had a shit day. And it was like, what is going on? So you know what? Because I just went to bed and I listened to some podcasts, woke up, snore, like I woke myself up from snoring. But it was just like, I was really still tuned in, but it was like, I'm not working right now.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
took
going to
half a
do
day.
what I
I
need
took
to
half a
do.
day off yesterday.
Yeah,
And it was like, but I knew what I was grieving about. I was actually grieving about what my logical mind had said where I should be at this age of my life. Like, it was actually,
Oh,
you know,
yes, that's a
and,
biggie.
like, how come you haven't met the love of your life yet? And how come you haven't this and that? But it was just because I was grieving the old story and letting
Yeah.
that go, because that isn't who I really am.
No.
I mean,
Can
I'm
I?
ageless. I'm ageless. Look at me. I'm ageless.
You are. And I just want to say something about that, and I will have to go as well. But I've been on my own for 12 years now, and I really want to say this, and this is not ego, but I had 2 long-term relationships with some little ones before and in between. And one of the things for me is that I've never had a safe relationship. I've always been in very abusive relationships. So 12 years ago, when I left my partner, left my dream home where I thought that I would die, I made a clear decision with myself that I would stay on my own, because I always gave myself away, but I didn't realize. I always thought I was holding my power, but I wasn't, and standing in my truth, that I did, but it just wasn't working. And since making that choice, no, I just want to say this because this is my truth. Yes, I miss intimacy. Yes, I miss having someone to have conversations with and hold my hand or give me a hug. However, what I have grown within me, how I have grown within me, I would never have had in a relationship if I were in those relationships, because I actually feel now, I was speaking to somebody, a friend of mine that is in my circle, and she's actually a coach as well. And I said to her, please don't take this the wrong way, but having all of this space, and it's not that I'm completely closed off. If somebody walked into my life and it was right, then that's okay. But I would prefer to be on my own and build myself and my length, live for me. And I feel like, this is going to sound corny, but the thing that came to me is I feel like a priestess. Some of us are not meant to be in relationships. And I'm on purpose. I know my purpose. I'm living my purpose. And I know that I wouldn't be able to do that if I were in a relationship. I'm just putting that out there, because I was in a panel discussion the other week and somebody said to me, oh, there was 5 women and they all said, we need to have a man. And I just openly said, I'm sorry, but I disagree with you. We're conditioned to believe it. Yes, if we want it, that's beautiful. But it's not that you need it, you choose it. And
Yeah.
it's all about choice. And they say there's all this bullshit that if you're with a partner, you have a longer life. That is not true. I think I would have been a very sick, unwell woman if I was still alive, because he was abusive. So no, that's not true. So trust yourself, be yourself, and do what works for you, not what society tells us is the way it should be.
Absolutely true. So on that note, what I'm going to do is as promised, I'll do this intuitive meditation. Julie, you can come and join us. It would be absolutely awesome if you did. And we went a bit over time, but there was flow here. You can see that, how there was flow here. And just absolutely so grateful for you coming on board with us today. We've had such a beautiful, magical time. And before I forget, I just want to invite you to, if you're really, really ready to up level your business, your sustainable business, your sustainable health, your sustainable passion, and your sustainable joy, come and join us for my 4-day free live training on the 4th to the 7th of December. It's called Magnetic Client Mastery. So
Do
imagine.
it. Oh, if I can do it, I will.
Yeah, so come along. So it's going to be me, Julie, everybody that really wants to really rise up. Okay, it's free, it's practical, it's embodied. We're going to have so much fun. It's not like other trainings, believe me, never is like other trainings. Okay, and we're going to simplify your impact. Amplify that legacy business you want to birth and live, amplify your income, and amplify your energetic alignment. So put those dates in your calendar, 4th to the 7th of December. I'll be putting the link up soon, and for the landing page, I can't wait to do that with you, because the Academy is being launched February next year, Magnetic Intuition Certification. And so that is a 12-month certification program where you get a chance to saturate and embody all of who you truly are, your divine goddess, God self, your intuitive self, and become the go-to coach and leader in your field from here, from inside, not from outside. Unshakable confidence, embodiment, knowing. Oh my God, we're going to have so much fun. Anyway,
So much
that's the meditation. And now we'll do the meditation. Okay. Anything particularly you would feel to add, include in this meditation, or you'd love, Julie, and I'll add it?
No, I'm
Okay.
trusting.
Okay. So we're going to sit back. So I would like you to cross your hands, put them on your abdomen, 2 feet flat on the ground. So breathing in and out. 3 gentle breaths in and out. Now imagine that you're a strong tree. And I want you to breathe down to your thighs, your knees, your shins, your ankles, and your feet. And imagine you've got tree roots going 3 meters below the earth, deep, deep into the earth. And I'd like you to imagine your favorite tree standing right next to you. It's a big, big tree with unshakable tree roots. Imagine your tree roots uniting with your favorite tree, interlocking, solid and strong, anchored deep into the earth, completely safe from any emotional storm, any financial storm, relationship storm, business storm, health storm, any storm, completely solid in the ground. Feel the yin chi of the earth nourishing you deep, deep into the center of the earth. Now, I'd like you to breathe down your tree trunk. Imagine your legs and your pelvis is your tree trunk. Down your tree trunk, down your legs, down through your shins, ankles, feet, through the tree roots, and then up through your favorite tree, big, big tree, up through the tree roots, all the way through the tree trunk, standing inside the tree trunk of your favorite tree. Feel how expansive and strong that tree trunk is. It's so solid, so unshakable, so present. So feel your human self standing inside that tree trunk and feel yourself being hugged and supported from your infinite, intuitive true self, your infinite being. Your infinite being is hugging and supporting you. Feel how your infinite being has total oneness, total presence, total stillness, total knowing, total alignment, has unlimited abundance, unlimited love. Feel the unlimited love that your intuitive being has for you, unlimited support. And I want you to really breathe that in through every cell of your body, all the love, all the support, all the abundance, all the radiant health through every cell of your being. Feel every cell of your being saturated with this gold light of love, abundance, fearlessness, oneness, presence, fulfillment. And feel your infinite, intuitive being humming to you. You can wrap your arms around your body if you like, and imagine your divine infinite being, intuitive being, rocking you and hugging you, supporting you. All is well. All is well. All is well. All is well. When you feel 100% present, still, and at peace and abundant, you can rise up. If you're listening to the replay, you can pause the recording until you feel that. Rising up out of that tree trunk, up through the branches, still with your human self and your intuitive self. Your intuitive self is wrapping its arms around you, supporting you through the tree trunk, through the branches, through the foliage. Imagine the foliage as all the money and clients prolifically that are in your business and in your life. Feel them, feel their energy, the joy, the community, the sense of gratitude, how they're so happy to be part of your community, so happy to work with you. Feel that through every cell of your body, coming up through the foliage and back down through the crown of your head, down through your head, through your throat, into your heart, and let that settle in your heart, the vision of unshakable confidence, the connection with your soul tribe, your soul community, your oneness with them, your love for them, your commitment to serve them and their highest good. Feel them in your heart. Feel them at peace. Feel them at one. Feel them coming home, back to who they really are. Hearing them saying, oh my God, that was the best investment I ever made in my business, in my life, in my health. Working with you has totally changed my life. Oh my God, I've sent all my family and friends to you. I cannot thank you enough. Oh my God, my income has quadrupled since working with you. And it was so easy. I couldn't stop the money from flowing in. Oh my God. Marketing has become such a joy for me. My business is no longer a business. It's my soul calling. It's me dancing every day with the divine. I cannot believe it. And just feeling in your heart so much gratitude for all your amazing clients and all the amazing abundance that's come your way, and all the love and all the wonderful relationships and heart connections you have with everyone in your life, and feeling that gratitude through every cell of your body. We're just going to sing a thank you song to all of them for them to feel the gratitude and the love. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I say, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything. I love you. I forgive you. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. I forgive you. I'm sorry. Thank you. Feeling the gratitude through every cell of your body, coming down to your heart, down to your belly. Every word that you speak, every post that you put up, every client you serve, every podcast interview you have, every offer you put out, you are making a difference. You are saving a life. You are saving a soul. You are, by your presence, transforming people's lives one moment at a time, one person at a time. Never underestimate the power of your divine work. Never underestimate it. Because it's not from you anymore. If you've really chosen this to be in soul service, you are in service to the divine for humanity. You are in service to support a new world where each person is living in alignment with their intuitive knowing, their divinity, and are following their inner guidance, no matter how tough things are, inside or out. That inner being that you've connected with today is with you in every breath. Every breath, that inner being, intuitive divine being is with you. Every breath, we claim it, feel it, know it. Thank you, thank you. Thank Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. It's done, it's done, it's done. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes back to the room. Okay. Much love to you all.